Hey everybody, this is Country Geckos. Today I'll be showing you how to set up a bearded dragon enclosure. I'll start by showing you all the materials I'll be using in this video to make this awesome setup. Reptile carpet, reptile hammock, 2 Exoterra foam backgrounds, a basking log, small pieces of wood and rocks to be used as step stools and hides, food and water dishes, hides, Exoterra's 125 watt solar glow sun stimulating bulb, 75 watt infrared heat bulb, digital thermometer, and a bearded dragon. So let's start off with the substrate. For my bearded dragon, I use Repti carpet. Repti carpet comes from many different brands, Zoomed, Exoterra, several different kinds of brands. It's a very reptile friendly substrate, although it's not very stylish. It is very, very functional. It's quite durable, very easy to clean, totally impaction free. And impaction is when your reptile ingests sand or some other type of loose substrate and it gets into their intestinal tract and causes illness. With Repti carpet, you're not going to have that issue. So you can feel free to drop the crickets in your bearded dragon's enclosure, have them run around and catch them in the terrarium if you choose to do that. So Repti carpet is a wonderful substrate for bearded dragons, and that's what I choose to do in mine. So I went ahead and set this down in there. Repti carpet comes in many different sizes for 10, 20, 40, whatever size terrarium you are using. So since this is a 40-gallon tank, which is the optimal size tank for a adult bearded dragon, I bought the 40-gallon size Repti carpet. Next, I'm going to add these 2 Exoterra backgrounds, these Exoterra foam backgrounds. These obviously are not a necessity in a bearded dragon enclosure. They're pretty much just for aesthetics and for my bearded dragon to climb on them. I have caught my bearded dragon several times getting up on these things and climbing around, and it's fun to watch him do it. I'm pretty sure he enjoys having the extra space to climb around, so I put them in the enclosure. The other purpose I have these backgrounds in there is to provide some visual barriers. When you have a bearded dragon, it's very important that you cover it about 2 to 3 of the sides of the terrarium, so either these 2 or all 3. It makes them feel much more secure. So using these 2 backgrounds pretty much covers up these 2 sides of the terrarium, which makes them feel so much more safe. Just provides visual barriers. Visual barriers for reptiles provide so much security for them, so these are what these backgrounds do. The only drawback to having these backgrounds is that they have very sharp claws, and he tears up this background when he climbs on it, but since I don't really have any other use for it, I just let it be in there and let him climb on it. Alright, so now we can get to the fun part, adding all the cage furniture. So when I set up any terrarium, I always start off with the largest objects first. So that's why I started with the substrate, then the backgrounds, and now I'm going to put in this basking spot. A basking spot is a vital part of any bearded dragon enclosure. This is where they're going to be spending most of their time during the day, absorbing that UVB and heat. So you want to get the basking spot from 95 to 110 degrees. You want to get it within that range, so very hot. This is not a care video for bearded dragons. I do plan on releasing those, but I will be giving you some basic information and obviously how to set a tank up for one of them. So I'm going to set this basking spot about right here. I've got this just bark hollow. He really doesn't use this, but it's in there to hold these 2 backgrounds in place because he's a large-bodied animal, and I'm sure he would have knocked them over several times if I didn't use this as a wedge. And the first night I purchased him, he did sleep in that thing, but as far as I know, he doesn't sleep in there anymore. But it's always good to provide your animals a hiding space just in case they need it, even though bearded dragons, at least mine, does not get in his hides too often. So primary basking spot, hide. I've got this right here, which obviously he cannot fit into, but I use it for aesthetics and as a stepping stool for him to get up on his basking spot. Right here I have a very great hide. I used to use this for my leopard gecko. Very sturdy. It's a rock, so it's going to absorb a lot of heat, and that's good for your bearded dragon's stomach. When you are setting up a bearded dragon terrarium, please do not purchase the caves, the heat caves. I think you plug them into the wall and they heat themselves up. Something with reptiles, they don't know when they're getting burned, and it's very easy for one of those heat caves to burn your bearded dragon, so it's best to avoid those and just get something like this and let it naturally absorb heat. So I set this right here, and I use it also as a wedge for the major basking spot. I like to have several different basking spots, so if he's too hot right here, he can get down here where it's going to be a little bit cooler and he's going to get a little bit more belly heat. And then I'm going to add this hammock, which is going to be a little bit higher than this spot in case he really wants to get toasty, but he does spend a lot of time in this. So it's kind of debatable for me which is his primary basking spot, either the hammock or the log. He pretty much uses them equally, so I'm not really sure. And bearded dragons, I highly recommend getting one of these hammocks. They spend a lot of time in them. They're really great products. And these two pieces of wood right here, I just wedge back here behind the primary basking spot because my bearded dragon ZZ fell into the crevice several times, and that was kind of funny but also kind of sad at the same time. So I just add these pieces of wood to ensure that he doesn't fall into that crevice again. So as you can see, we got this set up. I'll give you a closer look in just a moment. Next, we'll add the food and water dishes. So now I'm going to add the food dishes. I misspoke in the previous clip. I said food and water dishes. I don't really provide my bearded dragon a water dish. I did for the first few weeks of owning him, but then I realized he's not using it. It's just taking up space in his terrarium. And I replace a water dish with daily mistings and weekly baths. That's the best way to provide your bearded dragon hydration. I do plan on making a video just based on bearded dragon hydration, the best ways to do it and how to do it, and the hammock keeps coming unsuctioned. Real quick tip for hammocks and suction cups and stuff: if you spray water under the suction cups, it'll stick a lot better, but I haven't done that yet. So let's go ahead and put these food dishes down. A little hack I have is to get a little rectangle of paper towel and set it under your food dishes, because bearded dragons are pretty messy eaters, and they will they'll shake their food all around the terrarium, especially the pellets and the veggies. So I recommend just setting them on this paper towel, and it will pick up, not all, but some of the food that they kick out. So this dish right here, which I'll give you guys a close-up view in a minute, is my pellet dish and my dry protein dish, and this is my vegetable dish where I put collard greens, kale, etc. Because for an adult bearded dragon, vegetables are their main diet. Alright, so now we're going to add the lights. Lighting and heating is crucial to your bearded dragon setup. You need to make sure you're providing the proper UVB and the proper temperatures in the terrarium. I'm going to put a little thermometer gauge in there. I have a digital thermometer. I recommend getting a digital thermometer if you're even a crescent gecko owner, where you're supposed to keep them room temperature. I recommend getting a good digital thermometer if you're any type of reptile keeper, just to make sure you've got your animals at the right temperature. So after I set this up, I'm going to temperature check it and make sure I got the hot spots at the right temperature. So let's go ahead and put the screen top on here. This is a 40-gallon cover screen. I recommend putting on a screen for bearded dragons, especially with a terrarium like I've got here, where he's got a pretty easy way to get out if he so pleases, because he can get up pretty high. Just not going to take the risk in not having a lid. Next, I'm going to add this my UVB and basking light combo, which I place over here on the hot side. Bearded dragons need to have a heat gradient. They need to have a hot side, whichever side you choose. I chose this side. A hot side all the way over to a cool side. You want to keep the hot side between 95 and 110 degrees, the hot spot, I should say, and the cool side should go no lower than 80 degrees. So I'm going to put a infrared heat bulb over there. That's what I put on the cool side, and this is also my nighttime heat source. When it's nighttime, I keep these lights, this light on for 12 hours at a time. I turn it off at nighttime and move this red bulb, which bearded dragons cannot see red light or red spectrum. I place it in the center of the terrarium to ensure that the whole terrarium is getting heated at night, because my room can get kind of chilly at night. So let's go ahead and plug that in. In the daytime, I keep this bulb on the cool side. So let's go ahead and get that taken care of. Plug this in and turn it on. And now you have a completed bearded dragon setup. So before I give you a close look at the terrarium and kind of go over it, I want to show you my beautiful bearded dragon ZZ right here. I plan on making a bunch of videos on this guy, and this is just one to add to the collection. He's about to be put in a brand new clean enclosure. So I'm going to give y'all a closer look at the terrarium that we just set up. This is a really nice looking bearded dragon terrarium. Pretty simple to set up, not too elaborate. I like to ensure that my bearded dragon has lots of space to move around and lots of space to eat his food down here. The reason there's no food in this right here is because it's like 5:30 I think right now, and it's not, he gets fed his veggies in the morning. So we have all of our key components, several basking spots, a cool side, a heat gradient. I've got my UVB and heat bulb and my infrared cool side bulb and nighttime bulb. And like I said, I got my bearded dragon chilling out on top of the background, steadily tearing it up, but you know, I don't really care. Alright everybody, I want to thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Just a quick and simple way to set up an awesome looking bearded dragon terrarium that is functional and great for the bearded dragon's health and looks pretty nice too. Some announcements for my channel. I do plan on using the playlist feature a lot more. I've kind of neglected that for some reason on my channel. I want to organize all of my videos to species, so like leopard gecko videos in one playlist, bearded dragon videos in one playlist, and I want to keep adding to those and make it easy for a new viewer or a viewer that's coming to my channel with a select animal in mind. Make it very easy for you to target your species that you want to learn about and find some videos on it. And I'll make playlists with the fun, shorter videos of me like feeding my animals, which those are so fun to watch. I hope you guys enjoy those as much as I do. But guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, turn on post notifications, and comment. I'll see you guys in the next one. This is Country Geckos.